Hey, everybody. Melinda Russell here with the Women's Motorsports Network. And yes, I have a different background than I usually do. And no, it's not
Yes.
1983, but I'm staying with my other daughter here in Phoenix, Brienne. And I've been at Brittany's part of the week, and now I'm over here. And Justin, her husband, just had a 40th birthday. So we're going to give
All
him a shout out.
right.
Hey, Justin, you turned
Happy
40.
birthday.
Justin works for Landmark Recovery, which is also was one of the sponsors for my granddaughter's race car this season. So
Awesome.
anyway, so I'm sitting here and they had a birthday party and she has left the banner up to remind him that he's 40 years old. And so we have to give him a hard time about that for sure. So my guest today is Susie Toler. And I want to tell you a little
Hi.
bit about Susie. So Susie's been following me for a while, and
Oh, yeah.
I've been following her as well. And I kind of took some time off in August. As I told you, Susie, I kind of took some days off, had a lot of things going on, redecorating my house and doing landscaping, and I just couldn't do everything. That's
Right.
something that we women have to understand. We don't have to do everything all the time, right?
Oh, that's right. That
Yeah,
is absolutely right.
we have to prioritize. And so I took the month of August off and I put out a Facebook post a couple weeks ago and just said, okay, I'm
Mhm.
ready to start scheduling new podcast guests. And I was flooded with people who said, Susie Toler, Susie Toler, Susie Toler. And I'm like,
Yay. Thank y'all.
Susie Toler, what's the deal? Is she paying these people to send her name in or what? But
They just love me.
they do love you. And so
Yeah.
I was so overwhelmed a little bit to be like, well, I've been following her, but so many people that know her, that watch her race, reached out to me and said, you need to interview Susie Toler. And I'm like, okay, we got to get this lady on the podcast because she's something special. And she really
Yes.
is something very special. And
Oh, thank
so
you.
we are going to let her tell us about herself, her story, her racing story. And I'm excited to have her on the show today. So Susie, I want you to start by telling me a little bit about yourself, where you live, what you do for a job, do you have any kids or pets, anything like that, so that people can know who is Susie Toler.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you for doing this and interviewing me and reaching out. This is amazing. But so I'm Susie Toler. I'm from Hawkinsville, Georgia. I have a beautiful 17-year-old son. Um, and I have been engaged to the love of my life for the last 11, going on 12 years. And he's actually the one that got me into racing. Ever since I've been with him, he's always raced. And just being with him and being behind the scenes, and it's just makes you have that itch.
Yeah,
And
for
but
sure.
that's pretty much me. Oh, and I don't work per se, but I do help him at his mechanic shop. He owns his own mechanic shop here in Hawkinsville, Robertson's Garage, and I do whatever he tells me to do.
Okay.
So it's a
So
full
you
time
do.
job.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a full-time job. Yeah,
Oh yes,
absolutely. So
definitely.
when you're not racing, what do you like to do?
Um. Well, honestly, everything's about racing. On the off season, we're getting our cars ready, or we're getting his 602 ready, or we're going out bowling with some of our race friends. Love that.
Okay.
That's so much fun. Or just going
Yeah.
out to eat and just
Okay.
hanging out with family and friends. About
Okay.
that's the
Sounds
good
like
part of
just
life.
yeah, and that's normal. That's what all the rest of us do too, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
That's what we do. And we have to laugh because really when we say off season, the only thing off season means is the tracks are closed and we can't actually race. There's no
Right.
off season if you're involved in racing, that's for sure. So,
Yeah.
what does your family think about you being a race car driver?
Well, I have a twin sister, and she has not yet came see me race yet. She
Oh,
she uses the excuse. She's scared I'm gonna get hurt, and she's gonna see it. Anyway,
yeah.
that's what I say to her. But my dad thinks it's the coolest. I mean, my family's behind me, and actually, my cousin owns one of our tracks here in Middle Georgia, Cochran Motor Speedway. Joni Martin. She's actually my cousin, and she's her and her husband own that track, and
Okay.
that's our home track. So that's where we race at mostly.
Okay.
So
Very cool. So
yeah,
it's good, we can't do this unless our family support him. And you tell your sister that I said she better get to the track because she's missing out.
tell her again.
She's missing out for sure. Yeah,
Yes. And
absolutely.
my son's actually wanting to do it too. He's wanting to get into Crown Vic racing, but
Okay.
I'm so scared.
See, now there
I,
you go. You're scared for him and she's scared for
yeah,
you.
yes.
Now,
But he keeps
Susie,
saying yes, ma'am.
why are you scared for him?
Because he says he's gonna send it. Like he acts like he's not gonna have any caution, and I mean I fully feel like he will get out there and he will do a good job if he'll learn just to calm down. It ain't all about the speed. It's about, you've got a lot to learn on the track. It's not just mash
Yeah,
the gas and go.
right.
So that's the only thing
Well,
that scares me.
he may have to learn the hard way, and not, I don't mean getting hurt.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, he might get put in the wall or wrecked or whatever, and he'll learn, and he won't be the first and he won't be the last. And so
right.
maybe your fiance could, give him some advice. He might listen to him more than he'll listen to you. So but
Maybe.
wouldn't it be fun to be on the racetrack with your son and race against each
Oh
other?
God, yes. I cannot wait. Like I'm
Yeah.
actually thrilled for that moment because
Mhm.
father. We got a father daughter team.
Mother son.
Yeah, mother son team now. We'd be the first mother son team. We've got a father daughter team now, so that would
Yeah.
be really really awesome.
Yeah,
But
it
I'm
absolutely
scared
would be.
he'd probably run me rough though.
Not if he knows what's good for him, he wouldn't
That's
do that.
right. He
Yeah,
wants his
for
car
sure.
fixed. He won't.
That's right. So let's back up. You started
Okay.
racing, was it last year?
This makes my second year, full year
This is your
racing.
second year. Okay.
Yes.
And so tell me, you've been around the racetrack for 11 years. And when is that guy going to marry you? Come on. Okay. You've been a fiance for 11 years.
Leslie Robertson, she asked you a question.
Yeah. Come on, buddy. Pull the trigger. What are you doing? So
Right.
anyway, um, so you've been around racing a long time and as a
Yes.
part of the pit crew and everything that you're doing. So what made you decide all of a sudden, maybe I'll be a race car driver instead of a pit crew member?
Well, when they came out with the 440s, it's like the front wheel cars, like a Honda or a Nissan car. I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh my God, I could do that. I was like, wow, that might be something I could do. Well, we just kept rocking on me saying, I want to do it. I want to do it. And then actually, we were at the Alabama state race back 2 years ago, I think. Anyway, Scott Smith, he's Garrett Smith's father. He's a super late model driver. He actually came up to me and showed me a Crown Vic that he had just got race ready off of his phone. And I was like, oh my God, that is so gorgeous. And I had not even heard about the Crown Vics coming out yet. Well, he introduced me to it and he was like, you really like this car? I was like, you have a beautiful car. He said, come get it. I said, do what? And he was like, yes, just come get it. And I was like, look, I've never raced before. I don't want to be responsible for messing up your car. It's too pretty. I was like, there's no telling what I'll do in it. And he was like, just come get it. I want somebody in it that will enjoy it and that'll experience it. And if you don't like it, bring it back. Honey, it only took 1 second for me to be on that track. I was absolutely in love. That's all it
Yeah,
took.
that's all
So,
it took.
so
And
I raced my first year for him. And then I
okay.
was able to buy my own car or get my own car. So I gave the car back to him so he could bless somebody else with the opportunity like he gave me. And so he's still blessing people.
That's
Yeah.
awesome that he did that. And
Yes.
Susie, would you mind sharing how old you are?
I am 43.
So you
Yep.
started racing at
Yep.
42,
Yes, ma'am.
basically. And
Yeah.
I love that because we see so many of these little kids racing, or people say, "Oh, I started racing when I was 5 years old." You can
Hmm.
start racing at any age. It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
yes.
And
Yep.
so you're going to inspire some women who have maybe sat back and watched and always thought, "Oh, I'd really like to give that a try." But they're afraid, or they think they're too old, or they're too something. And you are going to inspire some women to say, "Hey, if she can do it, I can do it." So
I hope
that's
so.
cool. I
I
hope so
hope
too.
so. Because I'm going to be 90 out there still driving a Crown Vic, honey.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yes.
your hometown track, you already told us what that
Hmm.
was. So do you race every weekend, and are you racing for points, like for a championship?
Well, actually, okay, we race asphalt racing too. We added one asphalt track to our roster this year, and
Okay.
it's Chris Motorsports in Cordell, Georgia. And I
Okay.
am actually second in points.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations there.
Thank you. Guess who's first?
Oh,
My
probably
old
your
man.
fiance. Yeah.
He is. Yep. He's
Yeah.
first. And I'm second. We got one more race that I have to keep my. I think the guy behind me is only like 6 points behind me. But if I can uh, finish close to him or in front of him, I'll have my
Yeah.
second place. So
That's
I'm hoping.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I'm hoping.
That'll be
But
exciting.
asphalt racing is so much fun. Like,
Yeah.
I almost enjoy it just a little bit more than I do dirt.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So where
I
I
mean,
live, we don't have very many dirt tracks. And so asphalt is what I watch, most of the time. But I love dirt too. And
oh,
so
yeah.
it's a close second. Yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
So
Asphalt teaches
go
me
ahead.
how to drive on dirt. Asphalt teaches me how to drive on dirt. I mean,
Okay.
honestly, because you've got to, it's taken forever for me to learn that you've got to be slower. You got to go slow to be fast. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to get that in your head because you're racing. You're like,
Right.
no, we're supposed to be going. But honestly, I mean, you have to slow down to be faster. And on asphalt, you have to slow down. You
Yeah.
have to slow your car down to go into the turns, or you're not going to make it. So it's really teaching me the patience that I need for dirt.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it.
Well, and the more seat time you have, whether it's dirt or asphalt, they say
Yes.
10,000 hours. So the more that you race, the better you're going to get no matter what you're racing on. So that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
you said you drive a Crown Vic, and that's a
Hmm.
special class that they have. So what
Yes.
is your car color and number, and how did you choose it?
All right. So I have a 2011 Police Interceptor Crown Vic, and my car color is pink. Yay. Actually, it came that way. The Gene Thompson, he's the one that actually turns all of our Crown Vics into race cars for us. He does the roll cages and everything. Well, he found this pink car and he tagged me in it on Facebook, and I almost died. I was like, I gotta have it, I gotta have it, gotta have it. Well, he kind of wanted a little too much for my pocketbook, but he fortunately had a raffle where you buy spots and then he'll draw for the number, and if your number lands on it, you get the car. Well, I've never won nothing in my life, and I'd be danged if my number was not drawn. And I was like, when he first said my number and my name, I was like, oh man. And just started crying. I ain't gonna lie. I was like real heartbroken. I was like, oh man. And my fiance, he was like, you big dummy, that's your number. And I was like, oh my God, I won it. So yeah.
That's very cool. It was meant to
Yep.
be, wasn't it?
Yes, she was meant to be my baby, and she
That's for
is.
sure. That's for sure. And what number are you?
49. Yep.
49. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I,
why? Why 49?
To take my old man's number.
Okay.
Keep the tradition alive. I was actually gonna be Miss 49, but since we wasn't married, I put MS 49. So as
Yeah.
Miss 49. Well, everybody at every track started calling me MS 49 instead of Miss 49. So I
Hmm.
just dropped the MS. I was like, mm-mm,
Yeah.
y'all, that
They didn't
says
get it.
Miss. Yeah, they
Right.
didn't. So I just
They didn't
dropped the
get it.
MS. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is your most memorable moment so far in your racing career?
Uh, okay, my mind just went blank. I mean, this moment right here is pretty awesome.
Oh, well,
But
thank you for
I mean,
that.
honestly, this is pretty awesome to me. But my absolute most memorable moment is that one, that first time that me and Wesley was able to hit the racetrack together and race against each other. That had to have been the most amazing moment. And
Hmm.
then here recently in Cordele, I finished second in our heat race, so that wound us up both on the front row. So
Ah,
yes, honey, you can
uh-huh,
hear everybody in the stands, like in the video. They're like, "All right, is he going to be a boyfriend or is he going to be a race car driver?"
uh-huh.
And I'm sitting there like shaking. And Wes said all he could do was laugh at me because he'd look over and my hands would just be shaking. But I was wanting it so bad, and I got him
Mhm.
on the start. But as soon as we got in the turn, my car was pushing, and that was all she wrote. He went to the front, and I went to the back.
Oh, well,
But
darn.
hey, it was fun.
You're gonna have a chance to get him at some point here. I know that for
Oh
sure.
yeah, oh yeah.
So,
I'm gonna get him.
besides Wesley, who helps with your car? Do you have, do you have
Uh,
a crew or how does that work at the racetrack?
okay, so with our class, we have the most incredible people you've ever met in your life, and we're like a huge family. So I'm about to name out some racers, but we're all one thing, one family. And the Crown Vic class, they have a junior class and a senior class. The junior class is for inexperienced drivers, and the pro class is for the experienced drivers. Well, I'm in the juniors, and Wes is in the pros, and a couple of other people are in the pros. So if we're out, just say the juniors are out there, we have like Wesley Robertson, Mike Young, Chris Harrelson, Kobe Fountain, Wesley Watkins, Brooke Johnson, Brandon Johnson. Oh God, I know I'm missing a lot. Y'all are gonna kill me. Um, mate. Okay, Ethan Moore, and I know I'm missing some of y'all, and I'm so sorry right now, but my mind's going blank. But we are just like a tight family. So if somebody needs a flat tire, we've got that one on standby. They know exactly, and we just help each other out. On the track, off the track. I mean, it's a beautiful little family, and I don't see any other class having that besides us.
And that's really
So,
cool because, you know, it's a special class and it's more of a I mean, I know you're competitive, all of you, but I think it sounds like it's more of a class to have fun. It's not
yes,
maybe as serious as a late model class because they've got so much money tied up into those cars. And
yes.
and not that, your cars are cheap. I don't mean that. But I think it's a different mindset of the kind of
Oh,
cars that you race.
definitely, definitely. Wesley, he owns three 602 cars. I mean, three late models. So he late model races too, on top of the Crown Vics. So yeah, he says he has a lot more fun in the Crown Vics than he does the late
Yeah.
models.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
sure.
it don't
Yeah,
cost as much if you tear it up.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So do you have any marketing partners that help you or is it just you how do you work that out?
Okay, I do have a few sponsors that came aboard with me this year. So first and foremost, Robertson's Garage for my fiance. He's my number one supporter. Is going to get me to the track. Then we've got Best Way Towing, um, Best Way Towing, Robertson's Garage, Fast Track Chassis, 441 Speed Shop, Hillbilly Pilot Car, McDaniel Cabinets. I think I got them
Okay.
all. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got a few sponsors that help you, get to the track, race every week, and that's important because,
Yes.
it's tough to, you work hard during the week and then you get to the track and sometimes that's even more hard work, and to know that you have people that have your back, that's really really important. So that's
Um,
great.
I got to mention one more person, and they are absolutely going to kill me because they are one of my biggest supporters and biggest fans. And I love them to death. Teresa and Reggie at Carver's Country Store. Best country food you'll ever eat in your life. You ever in Hawkinsville, come see them. But yes,
Okay.
I love y'all, and I'm so, so sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Oh,
But I
there,
got
you
y'all.
mentioned them. No problem.
All right.
So, do you ever have a bad day at the racetrack? And if so, how do you deal with that?
Mm. I go to the bathroom and have me a big old girl cry because I don't want none of them boys to see my weaknesses. So I'll go in there and just boo and then say, "Girl, you got this." And then I'll go
Yeah.
back out, and then, or if Wesley says something to me, then I'll have to turn around and go back to the bathroom and cry a little bit more. then I'm fine.
Yeah. Then you're
But I
fine.
mean, yeah. But I have a lot of, like, even if you do bad on the track, the people that are around us, even the ones that I race against, or if I've outrun them, or if I didn't we just support each other. Like, okay, well, you did this. This could have been a little better than that. We just try to teach each other, learn from each
Hmm.
other, and
Yeah.
support each other. So it really
Yeah.
don't make it bad.
Yeah. And,
Yeah,
race, excuse me, racing is the one sport that you're going to lose more than you're going to win.
absolutely.
And so, it's not all about the winning and the trophies. And I just had a mom say to me, I want my girls to understand that it's not about the trophies. It's about the family experience. It's about having fun. And I think that's good for adults to remember too.
Yes. Your
Yeah, for
growth,
sure.
your, yeah, I mean, it's about a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I respect that mom for that, because a lot of these moms or dads mostly, are all about that win, that win, that win,
Hmm.
that win, that trophy. Don't matter if it's for $100 or if it's for $1,500.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely. So
respect that mom for that.
what's your favorite part of being a race car driver? Now I know you've been at the track for a long time, but what do you love about driving?
Mm, to my being in the car, or just the aspect of me being a driver. Like,
Either one.
my absolute favorite is the kids. Like, I love them. So I have a pretty pink car that's got shimmery numbers on it, and I've got blue lights on my car. My car underneath, I have underglows under my car. Inside my car glows up. I mean, I love lights, love them. So all the kids love my car. And just to see them run up to you in Fan Appreciation Day, like we had in Cordell, and them just, "I love you, Miss Susie," and for them to know who I am and just be like, "I love you. I want to be just like," and it's like, oh my God, I just love that. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, Susie, I bet when you started racing, you didn't have that wasn't in your mind at all, that you were going to be kind of like a favorite driver like that to the kids. That was never your intention or what you set out to do. But the fact that they love coming up to your car, they feel comfortable, coming up and talking to you and looking at your car, probably sitting in your car.
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty big deal.
Oh yeah. I will let any of them in my car. If they want to go around the track, let's go around the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's been your biggest obstacle or something that you feel like you need to improve on to be a better driver?
Slowing down. I need to
Now, that
slow
sounds
down.
funny.
I
Slowing
know,
down.
right? Yes. And I really want to bite my tongue for saying it too, because it just don't sound right coming out. But honestly, I'm full, I'll mash it to the gas. I'll mash the gas to the, my cat keeps messing with me. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, I'll just mash it and I'll get all swirly and knowing I need to slow down and think about my next turn and quit being so having all your emotions up. Like, sure, I just got to calm down and slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And I might win one. I might.
I think you will. Absolutely, for
I
sure.
hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So what's
We've
your
got,
goal? What's your goal for racing? Do you want to stay in the Crown Vics? Do you want to maybe move up to a different kind of class? What are your goals for your racing?
the only way I'm gonna move up is to the pro class. I will never get out of Crown Vics.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't see, yeah. I can't see how the other ones go around as fast as they do because in the Crown Vic, it is so much harder than it looks. Like
Mm-hmm.
on my old car, on my old car on the back of it said this was easier from the stands. And that was
Yeah.
absolutely the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm going a million miles an hour on that track, I swear. So
Yeah.
I can imagine what the higher class cars are doing. I don't think my nerves could take it. I'm too old.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna be
easy for people sitting up and watching to be like, oh, you should have done this, and oh, that's not hard,
oh
and
yeah.
all those things. But until you get out there on that track and you have the, like you said, the emotions and the nervousness and everything, and you get out there on that track and you put that pedal down, and you've got 15 or 20 other drivers trying to be in the same place you are,
Oh
it's a whole
yes.
different deal.
And then top it off with new kids getting out there to race. Because see, I race
Yeah.
with a lot of kids, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and they're all like my babies. So it's like on top of all the added stress already, then you've got these babies out here with you, and you're just like, whoo, it can get
Yeah.
crazy some nights.
I'm sure that it can,
But
but
like
it's
they say,
fun.
they want to race. They don't want me to not race them because they want to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I try.
Yeah. That's good. So, have you ever had any issues being a female? So I know all these people knew you because you've been at the track for so many years, but once you started racing, did they treat you any differently? Do they treat you differently because you're a woman, or are you just another driver to them?
Well, to the drivers, I'm just another driver. They will run me just like they'll run any other man, but it is the people in the stands that actually have the issue with
Ah,
me. I've had a lot of nasty messages come through my Facebook saying a woman's place is in the kitchen, not behind the wheel of a race car. You women are ruining the sport. There goes racing forever. They're letting stupid females like you in there. It can get nastier, but I'm gonna leave it PG. But
okay.
yes, ma'am. It can get discouraging, and I have let it bother me to the point where I've been in tears. But now, that was when I first started racing. But now, when I go to a certain track, I already know what to expect after I get done
Okay.
racing. So it don't really, it does in a way, but it don't really.
Yeah. It still hurts, but you've learned how to let it go, because
Yes.
you're not going to change those people's minds. And they're
Mm.
very old fashioned thinking.
Oh,
All you have
yes.
to do is look around at any track anywhere in the United States, and there are women racing.
And
I
dominating.
can't think of any track that I know of where there are no women, and there very well could
Exactly.
be, but the women are coming onto the track as drivers, and they're helping and they're improving the sport, and so those
Yep.
people need to grow up, and either that, or if you don't like it, don't come and watch. Are you there?
Are you?
I lost you for a
Yeah, I'm
second.
here.
I
Yeah.
lost you for a
I'm
second.
sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, we don't even want to talk about those people because that just gives them
No,
credibility, and they don't have any.
that's right. That's right.
So, if a mom or somebody came up to you and said, my little girl wants to get involved in racing, what would you tell her? Is it a good sport for women to be involved in after what we just said? You can get your feelings hurt, but is it a good sport for girls to be
I
involved in?
I would tell her absolutely yes. I mean, in this sport, it teaches her that she'll need a thick skin anyway in life. And I mean, it teaches you a lot about yourself, about determination, about, sportsmanship. I mean, because like you said, you're not going to win every single one of them. So
No.
a little learning to fail, to keep trying to build to get that success is a
Mm-hmm.
main key, lesson to learn in life. And I mean,
Absolutely.
racing is amazing. I mean, I would put every female I knew into it if I could.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
So, are there other women that race in the Crown Vic class with you, or are there very
Oh
many
yeah.
women that race at those tracks that you go to?
Oh yes. My best friend, um, Brooke Johnson, Taylor Brooke Johnson. She has been racing with me since I started, and I mean, she's a lot younger than me, and everybody says it's crazy that I think I call a 15-year-old my best friend, but she is absolutely the joy of my life. Like I fell in love with her the second I met her, and we've been like this ever since. But it was like me and her first started together, and then all of a sudden we have Mackenzie Maddox, Jenna Johnson, her sister, Stephanie Johnson, I believe. I'm sorry if I got it wrong, but I mean, there's like all these girls, Chloe Ivy. I mean, a lot of girls are just piling up with us. Um, so I mean, every time you turn around, there's a new girl coming in, and it's
Good.
so good to see. So good
Yeah,
to see, especially in the Crown
absolutely.
Vics.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
sounds like that's a good class to start in. So, that's
Oh
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, do you think you're making an impact or that you will make an impact on motorsports? And if so, what is your goal? Like if, you know, many years down the road when you're done with driving the car, what do you want your legacy to be?
Kind of like what we or you mentioned earlier. Just you're never too old to fulfill your dream. Like
Mhm.
I've been through a back surgery. I figured, that racing in me, that was way back then. And now look at me. So you're
Mhm.
never too old to complete your dreams. I mean, it may take a lot of years, but you can get there
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
be just as happy and blissed as anything.
Absolutely.
That's
And so
just what I'm.
you know, you're showing women that you can do it. You just have to try. You just have to get out there and try. And so
Don't
I
be
love
afraid.
that. Don't be afraid, that's for sure.
Don't be
So
afraid.
Susie, do you use social media at all to, well, I know you do, but I have to ask the question.
Yes.
How do you use social media to promote yourself and your team? What do
Um,
you do?
um, I do a lot of TikTok videos. Absolutely love TikTok. Um, just because it's the video platform that you can make different
Yeah.
racing videos, and I just love it, love it, love it, love it. And you can find me on TikTok as Racer Girl 49 or Susie Toler. I think it pull up my name too. If you type in my name, it'll pull it up too. And you can also find me
Okay.
on Facebook. Facebook is under my name, and Instagram. That's pretty
Okay.
much all I use.
Yeah.
Oh, and we
Well,
have
I
a Club
know.
49. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We also
No, go
have a
ahead.
Club 49. We also have a Club 49 racing page on Facebook. I forgot about that. I'm fixing to start doing better
Okay.
at.
Okay. Awesome. Now, um, so under your name, we can find you and you post, I'm assuming, pictures of your car, how you did at the track,
Yes.
maybe where you're going to be racing. So It'll let us know everything we need to know about Susie Toler and where she's going to be racing and how she did. And so
Yes.
I've paid attention, but not as much as I should have. And I'm going to pay way more attention now.
All right.
Now that
Well,
we've met.
pay attention this weekend because it's our
Okay.
big state race. We're running our big state race in East Alabama. So I'm
Okay.
extremely excited. They just added us to the roster. Like we wasn't on there, but luckily we got added, and there is a big group of us going to race the state race. So that's this weekend, and I'm super excited.
Oh, that sounds like
Like,
a lot of fun. So I will make sure that I
yes.
keep track of that. Yeah. So, Susie, I always ask
Mhm.
my girls, women that I have on, I always ask them some fun answers about what are some of their favorites. And it's just a whole list of favorite things. And so it's kind of one of those things, just a quick answer. And we're
All
going to
right.
learn even more about you. So here we go. What's your favorite food or restaurant?
Steak. Anywhere that serves
Favorite
steak.
steak. You like it
Steak.
well done or raw?
No, medium rare. I want it to moo. I don't want it to moo. I want it to moo.
Oh, I can't do it. Can't
Yes,
do it.
ma'am.
Even my hamburgers have to be very well done. So can't do it. What's your favorite
I love it.
beverage?
Coke. A
Favorite
Coca-Cola.
racetrack food?
The barbecue at Chris Motorsports.
Okay. Favorite color? Pink. We already knew that.
Pink.
What's your favorite animal?
A dog.
Okay.
Yes, I
Where
love my
is
chihuahua.
where's your favorite place to go on vacation? Someplace you've been or someplace you would like to go?
We like to travel to different tracks that we haven't been to on our vacations.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good. Favorite candy or snack?
chocolate, and chocolate.
Chocolate, dark chocolate for me. Give me the dark chocolate. Favorite
Any
place
chocolate.
to shop? Do you shop a lot or do you like to shop? And where do you like to shop?
I used to always shop with Dirty Girl Racewear, but she's done sold out on me.
I know.
I love her. You know her? I love Sonia.
I've met her. Yeah, I have some of her stuff. Yeah.
I've got everything she's ever came out with. Everything.
Yeah.
Like, I was obsessed. But
So
now I guess I have to go to race trip.
Okay. All right. So, favorite racetrack?
That's a hard one. Can I have a few?
You can
Chris
say I don't have, or you can just say they're all my favorite.
Yeah, I got Chris Motorsports and Cochran Motor Speedway.
Okay.
And need more. And need more.
All right.
They're all my favorite.
Do you have a favorite movie, actor, or actress?
I love the movie. I love any racing movie, especially like Champion. Like, that was such a good movie.
Okay.
I love that.
How about music? Favorite type of music?
Country music.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite sports team that's not racing related?
Atlanta Braves.
Okay, good choice. How about a favorite professional race car driver?
I'm gonna say Dale Earnhardt Jr. Love him always. And dirt track is Jonathan Davenport and Tim McCready. Love them.
Oh yeah, both very good drivers. How about your favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
That's
Absolutely
a good
love
one.
it. Yes.
Favorite TV or streaming show?
Hulu. Anything on Hulu.
Okay. Favorite thing to celebrate?
My baby's birthday.
Okay. And what is his name? You didn't tell us.
His name's Cameron. Cameron Morrow.
Cameron's birthday. And the last question. When you were a little girl, what was your favorite toy? Cars or dolls?
Well, I'd low-key steal my sister's cars, but I'd act like I love baby dolls. But I really like the cars.
So you really liked them both, but you liked the cars
Yeah,
and you were kind of being secretive about that. Yeah.
yeah.
So Susie, is there
Couldn't. Uh-huh.
anything that we haven't talked about that we should have, that I totally missed about you, your racing career, anything at all?
The only thing is, I want to tell you that I met Emma Brett through you, through one of your interviews of her, and
Okay.
never knew that I was racing with her in Cordell. And I got the
Really?
opportunity to meet this beautiful young lady and fell in love with her. She is
Mm-hmm.
amazing and she
Yeah.
is doing big things. I see her going big places.
Yeah.
She is awesome.
Well, that's cool. I appreciate that.
And I
That's
met her
one of the
through.
things that I set out to do, is to connect and celebrate women in motorsports. So the connecting part, is sharing your story. And then maybe somebody can say, hey, I go to those racetracks, but I don't know who Susie Toler is. I don't know how they could not know in a bright pink car, but you know,
Bright
or
pink
now
hair.
you're going to the state race. Maybe there's somebody that hears this podcast and they're like, oh, I'm going to look her up, or I'm going to cheer for her. And so that's true of a lot of the women that I've interviewed. And then, or they'll reach out to me and they'll say, do you know anybody in such and such part of the country? I'm going to be going over there to race or to whatever. And I love connecting the women across the
Send them
country and
my
really
way.
across the world, because
Yeah.
I have women in all parts of the world that listen to these podcasts and have been featured in the magazine that I do. And so I love that part of it. So
Yes.
thank you, Susie, for sharing that with us, for sure.
Yes. I
Um,
think it's beautiful what you're doing. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I don't have
thank
any
you.
other questions. So
Uh,
I just want you to don't hang up on me. I'm going to
okay.
stop the recording. I'm going to thank you for being on today. I'm going to stop the recording, but I want you to stay with me. And
Right.
hopefully you do really well this weekend, and I'll be watching.
Let's
All
hope.
right.